Welcome back to another episode.
Today is going to be another episode of lights. I know, you're probably tired by now saying, really? More lights? But hey, I love lights. You know, I started with a car. I love doing things that make my space mine. And if you watch my latest episode, I just released this beautiful backdrop because that's how it works. So that being said, in today's episode, I want to give a shout out to XMCOSY Plus for sending me this product that, as we can see here, for me to try out. For those of you that have seen my backyard, my lights, then again, it's another episode. Look up on my channel. I appreciate it if you watch it. I have installed the Go V lights on the back of the house, which, by the way, I have another surprise should be coming up shortly. But anyways, so my lights are looking great. It lights up the whole backyard. But a couple years ago, when we first moved into the house, I bought these string lights from Home Depot, right? They look okay. They were not bright. They were not the best thing ever, which is understandable because LEDs, single light bulb, spare, will not give that much output. And I loved it. I've had them for over, I want to say 2-3 years. But then because of the harsh conditions and the weather, and I guess a branch fell on it at some point, some space in the actual string lights stopped working. So it only turns on white and the rest lights up multicolors. That's where this comes in handy. We are going to be installing this kit on my backyard and we're gonna replace the existing one. I'm not gonna unbox it. This is one of those products that you can see exactly what it is. The picture shows you, but throughout the video you'll see what it looks like. Maybe I can just show you guys the thickness of the cable so we can see. But so as we can see here, it's pretty good quality cable. I had already looked at it, but and then we have our new design, prismatic, I think that's what they call LED bulb that is supposed to output more quality of light. That's their new technology. And yeah, so we're going to be using, before my yard looked really sadly ugly because I had used just some like plastic ties to tie it to the tree. But today, this time around, I decided to go a little more professional and get some quality products. So I ended up getting nylon wrapped wire with the kit to do tension holding, I guess, in between tree to the house. And so these is going to come in handy for me to hang it properly and have very well professional installation instead of having some white strings coming out of the trees. So if you want to watch this, stick around. Let's get going on the installation. Now I gotta warn you, it's pretty windy outside and cold, so I most likely will just take time lapses and I will share it with you guys as time lapses, and maybe I'll add some voice. Excuse me. Maybe I'll add some voiceover to it so that way you guys can see what my thoughts were in between. Let's go. So I do have to say that what is cool about this kit is that they send you multiple ways of installing them. Well, their installation, I guess, packet explains a little further, right? We'll get into the app in a little bit, but so I like this page right here, where it explains that you can either use it as a string and tight to be straight, or hook it. So you'll be able to hook the light and then attach the hook via zip tie, right? Now, if you're trying to do this, that you want to put them up and set it down and forget about them, this will not work because the cable will unhook eventually with wind and all of that. So I would not recommend doing this. But if you have a setup where you want to put it down and take it down every time you please, you can use this. Like basically you take it down in the winter time and you don't want to deal with it because you don't use it, then you can use this. You can zip tie this to the actual cable. You can use the same mechanism I'm using and then zip tie it and hook it as you please, which is pretty good. One other thing I noticed as well was that they send you a couple LED chip bulbs, I guess you can call them. I mean, I'm used to the old school light bulbs where you exchange. As you can see here, it sends you this, that you remove the actual cup and put this back on, and it should work as it was before. Wasn't expecting much based on what I had in my previously in my yard, but as you can see the reflection in my eyes or my glasses, you'll be surprised. The LED lights are pretty bright, so I know they're compacted and in one single spot, but the light output is not bad at all. Let me try to see if I can somehow scan for it, but let me read through the instructions and download the app. So when you hold the power for 5 seconds, it will flash red and you can proceed when you're going to be installing your credentials, Wi-Fi, everything. So as you can see here, we have Flower Harbor, we have the Lotus Flower, and so on and so forth. But what I wanted to illustrate is that the lights are pretty bright.
Side note, please do not remove them the way I did. It's going to be a pain in the ass to make them a string. I made the mistake of just mixing it up. It was bad. And so while I'm here trying to understand what I'm doing with the string lights outside, I realized that the amount of footage that this kit comes with is 123 feet, and I will not need that much, so I will only use about 89 to 90. Now I could have gotten the smaller one, which was, I think, was 60 feet or 50 feet, but it would not be enough. So I want to have the best output for this string kit, so I decided to do something creative, and I ended up zip tying the cable to make the distance shorter. It was about 2 feet in between 5 feet in between each light, and I'm shortening it to be now about a third of it. This is going to give me more light output, more lights condensed with each other, and I'm gonna be able to use the whole kit for the space that I will be needing it for. So let's continue to do this, and then we're going to be trying to go outside, or maybe another day go outside since it's very windy and cold, but at least I'm making progress here.
So today is another day, and I off camera decided to put the wire through the lights, and as you can see here, we can see how I have completed, I guess you can call it weaving in between the lights, the cable. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go outside and we're going to start the installation. Now, just so you know, the way we're gonna install it is we're gonna use this specific hardware that came with it, where you are going to insert a hoop of the wire through here, like right here. So you're gonna unscrew these things, and then you're going to put the wire through, and then once the wire is through, you will tighten it, but you're gonna do like an 8. So you go through, come back and around, so that way you can tighten it, and then it will end up being held with each other, and so that way it never comes off. So we're gonna be using these. It came with a tool included, so you can tighten it. And we're gonna use the tensioners. These tensioners, the way that they work is you would basically install the end of the line, and then you're gonna hoop it through here, use one of the fasteners, and then once you're done, you basically are gonna be pulling into the actual end hook that you may have, either this or one of the ones that are provided for you to hook into a piece of wood, or just ultimately one of these. But you're going to be holding it and then tightening it, so that way you end up keeping it super tight. So you start by loosening it so it's big, and then you measure with this being very loose, and then just tighten it to make it tension it. to tension it. So let's go. All right, so we're out here, and the idea is to put it right over there. As you can see up there, we have our existing hoop right in the corner where this is the existing line of lights, and we are trying to replace them with a better, more sturdy one. Let me plug it in for you guys so you guys can see what happened. At some point, I guess a branch fell on top of it, and this is what it did to it. And so now, as you can see, a couple staying white, and then the rest light up in multicolor. So we're gonna be changing that to make sure that they all light up. RGBW. Let's go. All right, planning time. We're going to be using that point, that other hook to the last hook, and end up on this corner. So the first thing I need to do is get up there and put something to hook into. We're going to be installing this little hook in the wall. So for the middle part, which is that tree, and the other tree, we're going to use this attached, I guess, hiking hooks, however you call them, so we can put them through and hold it in place without having to tension it or attach it, so it's easier to remove if I ever have to. Ooh, my lights came on. Okay, so I got the afternoon on me. It's New York time, so it's 4 o'clock and it's already dark. But so I spent a little bit of time untangling the lights, but as you can see now, they're already laying on the floor, and we're gonna be able to get them out. So let's hook it up, hook it on the other side. Last one, tighten it, make sure to strain it, and then tight it, and then we should be complete. And then we can turn it on and see how they look. I'm so excited for this. Let's go. Almost there. We're just gonna have to run it from that last tree to this tree, and we should be all set. So let's move the camera to this side and get a better view. Now I just have to get a zip tie the end of it, and then we'll be good to go. But for now, it's time to light it up. You guys ready to go with me? Let's plug it in and see how it goes. And there we have it. We have lights, but so you guys can see the true colors, I'm going to turn off my Go V lights so you guys can see exactly the output that we get. So this is basically the output of the yard with our yard lights, string lights. As you can see me here, we have a really nice output. I think that doing it the way I did, which was compacting it to 1/3 of the distance, helped a lot. But nevertheless, on this area, we still got a couple of lights that were by themselves, right? So they were separated originally. So just I left these to demonstrate, but the output that we have is not so different than this. It is actually very bright. So let's just change to a different mode and a bunch of modes. Let's see. Let me, oh, by the way, I did end up going into the app and setting it up by myself, but I'm gonna be inserting this little footage right here, right now. So that way you guys can see exactly how I did it. And you guys can see exactly how to do it. Okay, so as you can see here, I have loading the app, and then you would do add device. The add device will show you your screen where you would either manually add it or add it with the pop-up from Bluetooth. In this case, I have it already added, and I will be changing now the modes. Wow, that is super bright. We have lotus flower, Iceland blue, willows, glacier, sea of clouds, maple leaf, cherry blossoms, hunt in the snow, firefly night. That's pretty cool. And many, many more. Now, let's go on to regular lights. So how about we put it on white? This is on white. It looks more like a high school white. Let's go red. That is actually super bright. Green, blue, purple. Oh, that's the real white. Interesting. So they have a white and a color white. That's pretty cool. You can do my music. And this is gonna ask me to do my devices. Hello, hello, hello. Or you can do other types. You can set up some modes, but in this case, we're gonna go back to the first one. So, let me turn on the lights. So now, we have the whole house lit up. And this is what it looks like. So you can see here, we have our top of the house lit up, bottom of the house lit up, our string lights lit up. So my yard is coming along. Now, I can host real parties and have them be super, super lit. I love this. Now, any angle I look at, my face is lit. I don't think I need to have a flashlight in my face, but yep, this is exactly what my yard looks like now. If you made it through this point, then you know that I love lighting. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.